What if the creator of Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne made a Tenchu game? Would it be as challenging as those games? Would it be as satisfying? Would it cause you to rage and have ulcers? Here's my review for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. After the development for Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 had wrapped, From Software took on the challenge of creating their most divisive, challenging, and ambitious game they have ever created. The result was possibly the best game that they have ever created. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice takes place during the Sengoku period in Japan. It's a fictional story of a shinobi going to great lengths to protect his young master. I do not want to say too much about the story because in true FromSoft fashion, the story is told through the environment, item descriptions, and other obtuse ways. However, this is where I believe FromSoft has grown immensely. There are more cutscenes, and the story is presented in a much more straightforward fashion. Their maturity in storytelling led to a new story mechanic in the game, which I will refer to as the sake system. There are certain important characters in the game which you can offer sake to, and they will tell you a tale over a drink. They will give you more lore and story information about themselves and the world that FromSoft has so expertly built. I absolutely adored this, and I hope more of their games in the future will include a system like this. The Japanese voice acting is outstanding, and each character feels incredibly distinct. The music is wonderful. I usually don't like the music in the Souls games or Bloodborne, with the exception of Demon Souls, because it's usually jarring. The music in Sekiro is influenced by traditional Japanese music and is fantastic because of its softer tones. The sound design is also excellent. FromSoft gets criticized for reusing assets from their previous games, but for the most part they didn't seem to reuse any assets from Dark Souls or Bloodborne in this game. The sounds of clashing swords have never sounded better. Speaking of clashing swords, that's what the combat system is designed around. Imagine if you played Dark Souls and all you could do is parry and riposte. That's basically the combat system for Sekiro. It's immensely challenging, but so incredibly satisfying when the combat finally clicks with the player. If you take your time and learn what the game is trying to teach you, the game is not as frustrating as some have made it out to be. You cannot play this game like Bloodborne or Dark Souls. It's a stealth action game, not an action RPG. Truthfully, with the stealth mechanic in this game, it actually makes progression of the game a little easier than FromSoft's other games. You can get a stealth kill on every normal enemy in the game, and you can also get a stealth death blow on most mini-bosses that will take one full life bar from their multi-health life bars. I really love the combat system. It did take me some time to learn it and get used to it, but when I did, I felt more satisfaction in defeating enemies in this game than any other game FromSoft has ever developed. Almost all of the bosses in Sekiro are incredible, and the fight sequences feel epic and intense. And as the title suggests, Shadows Die Twice. That means you can resurrect upon dying, which is a welcome mechanic in this game, unlike in any other Souls games. You have a second chance to defeat your enemy upon learning from your mistakes. Now, not everything is perfect in this game. Rarely any game is. But this is something that irritated me that almost made me quit, and it was the poor frame rate on my console. I played this on the PS4 Pro, and I had dropped frames and input lag like you wouldn't believe. This is incredibly frustrating when being in an intense encounter with an enemy and having the frames dip, input lag on my deflections, or blocking and dying over and over when there was nothing I was doing wrong. It looks like playing on the PC may be best for this game. I was also not so keen on the skill tree. I felt acquiring certain skills took too many skill points, and honestly, only a small handful of skills are essential for you to be able to progress through the game. And boy, oh boy, if you don't get these certain skills, it will just make the game way too difficult for anyone to progress. Whatever you hear on the internet, this game does not cause cancer. It's challenging, but very beatable and very rewarding. This is Hidetaka Miyazaki's magnum opus and FromSoft's best game to date. Every piece of criticism labeled on the Souls games and Bloodborne, they answered and created something that is amazingly special. All you need to do is practice.
But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. We're talking about practice. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about practice, man.
If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Thanks for watching.